Hi guys, we have missed you a lot, and we hope you're ready for another amazing episode of Ask the Expert, the show where we bring you the most insightful and inspiring experts from the business world. I'm Asel. This is my co-host Sophia, and she will introduce our amazing guest for today.
Yes, thank you so much, Asel, for introduction. And today, please welcome our great speaker for today, Gwen. She is a B2B marketing leader. She knows, everything about a strong brand, how to build a strong brand. And currently, she holds the position of VP marketing at the IT company. So, Gwen, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, once again, thanks for joining us today. And now let's dive into the main topic of our podcast. Could you please share with us what are your thoughts on the current personal branding trends on LinkedIn, and both in content and in general strategy?
Yeah, so first, I'm not a huge fan of the name personal branding. I think that's feel like trying too much. That feel a bit like inauthentic. But I think the trend of having people posting on LinkedIn and how brands can leverage that, and their employees to really build their own brand. And so leadership, I think, is essential. I think a lot of people, and this is very cliche, but connect with people, right, on social. And I think that is also true for LinkedIn. No one really connects with brands in general, but they want to connect with the people. So I think it's very valuable for anybody to kind of leverage that social network for their own personal goal and for helping their company. So I think that's kind of like the aspect of it, right? It's like you're doing it for yourself and you doing it for the company as well. And I think company have a huge opportunity to have their employee engaging so that they can be more visible and they can be talking to their customers and their prospects on social through their employees.
Great. Thank you so much. And what about the content strategy? I mean, what types of content are in trend right now?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to personal branding, you mean, or
Yes,
yeah.
Personal branding. Yes, personal branding.
Yeah. So I think not everyone has to be like a leader or build their own personal brand, right? They don't need everyone to kind of do that, but I think you would want your employees and definitely your leadership team to kind of share the knowledge and share their the aspect of the work that they know about and their insights, because I think that's how they can help others around them, right? So I think as far as the content strategy comes, I think it's about talking about what you know, right? I think don't force it to be something that you're not. I think it's about posting about your expertise and what you know about and what you want to be known for. I think that's where it starts. To be honest, I don't have a really good plan for myself when it comes to building a personal brand. I share when I feel like I have something to say, and I share when I feel that I have some good insight on something, but I don't have a very formal plan. I think, but I've been also working with people in my company, both employee, subject matter experts, and the leadership team to help them build their own kind of content. I think right now video is a big hit. So we've done video with our CEO, for example, that are gaining a lot of visibility and engagement because people want to see her. They don't want to read a post on our company LinkedIn. They want to hear from her directly. So I will encourage any kind of leaders and managers, I guess, or leadership team member to kind of use their own voice to spread the insight from the company, because people will listen to them.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a great approach, to be honest, because we are working in a social selling agency.
Right.
And I helped a lot of people to build their brand on LinkedIn for lead generation purposes or networking, but I cannot do it for myself because in my head, I have to force myself to become a thought leader. The imposter syndrome.
Right.
And the thing that you said about not forcing yourself to be a thought leader, but writing about your expertise, and that's it. Don't push yourself to your limits. It makes things easier, I believe. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think a lot of people have the imposter syndrome, or like when it comes to like writing on LinkedIn, and when it comes to like sharing on LinkedIn, for sure. Even when you've been doing it for a while, like I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but I'm also not like a person with, you know, thousands and thousands of followers, right? Like I don't know if I consider myself like a soul leader, but I do share about what I know, which is more brand than what the company does, right? Of course, I talk about my company and what I do there, but I also mostly talk about where my expertise come from. And I think that's kind of important. I love the approach that a lot of smaller tech companies take on building in public, which is like sharing on the day-to-day and kind of building in public rather than like trying to overthink every single post. It can just be about the learnings, right? Like that's what people want to see. They like want to hear from people like them that go through the challenge that they're going through, that have the same problem, and want to hear how those people have solved them, right? So I think it's like you don't have to be this kind of like big thought leader to start writing. It can be anybody, because we all share very similar problems and challenges, and just explaining how you're approaching them is what people are there for, right? Like for the authenticity. So I think it's about not overthinking it, I think. And we all go through this, right? And we all have posts that do well and posts that don't, and it doesn't really matter, because the worst with a post that doesn't do well mean that no one has seen it. So, you know, what's the harm in that if no one has seen it?
Yep. And one more question just popped up in my mind. I couldn't help but notice that you're a top brand strategy voice on LinkedIn. You got this beautiful badge. Yeah.
Yes.
And so maybe for what do you think about easing the process of creating content by going to collaborative articles? Because I think a lot of people, most of the people, they don't create a content plan for their LinkedIn page, right? And it's always a struggle to come up with new content ideas. But collaborative articles could help, because if you're going into your industry questions and you have the answer, you can write a post about that, or you can share your knowledge over there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think those articles are interesting. I think it's clever from LinkedIn, right, to have like started this kind of gamification of the content. It pushed people to want those badges, and a lot of people that don't know what those badges are from, right? Like it's a good recognition to have on the profile, even if it basically means that you've contributed to collaborative article, right? It doesn't really mean that you've been selected by LinkedIn for like your insights. But I think I'm quite realistic about it, but at the same time I've embraced it. It's like, hey, I like having that badge. It kind of like is a, you know, it's a good badge. So I picked the one I wanted, you know what I mean? But I think I think it definitely eased the process, because yeah, you can pick topics, you can pick what's in there, you can see what people react to, and maybe it helps to kind of like create content around that. I think yeah, overall I think it's about not overthinking it too much, right? And I'm sure like the one that are thinking it a lot and creating really good content, they have way better strategy than I do. But I think I'm also not chasing like a specific number of followers. I think it depends what are your goals, right? With it, like I'm not selling anything. Like I mean, I'm representing a company, but I'm not really a consultant. I think the consultant, the people that are creating a lot of content on LinkedIn are usually selling their services, right? So I think it's how you balance that as an employee or like an, you know, individual contributor in a way to the social network. It's about taking pleasure, I think, in a way, in what you're sharing and like enjoying the process. Because if you don't, and it becomes a pain every day, and you're like, oh, what am I going to post today? You're never going to be doing it, right? Like, so you need to kind of find some, find some joy, I guess, or learnings into embracing that process.
Thank you. And another great benefit from this badge is that it fits your background picture and your profile picture as well. It's yellow.
Exactly. That's what I told my colleagues. Like, they even made it on brand for me. Exactly. I like that it's the light yellow. It is like matches perfectly the rest. Yes.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your expertise. And guys, please follow Gwen's page. This is a great example of authenticity on LinkedIn, because there are a lot of bot accounts on LinkedIn. Probably you have mentioned that. And this is how your profile should look like. So pay attention to Gwen's content and to her profile design. And once again, thank you, Gwen. And guys, thanks for
so
watching.
Much.
Follow our pages, please, as well, and watch our Ask the Expert videos. If you have interesting people in mind who you want to answer our questions, don't hesitate to drop their names in the comments.